Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
Now, considering your relationship, or considering your hitherto, very close relationship with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a lot of people said they expected that you would work for him, but you worked for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. If you happen to see him or come face to face with Asiwaju tomorrow, how would you react? What would you say to him?
I will greet him the way I've always greeted him. I've never been in his party. He was in AG, he was in AC, ACN, APC. I've never been in his party. So when people ask me things, I expect maybe the young people who don't know my trajectory to ask such questions or to worry about my relationship with Asiwaju. I'm never worried about my relationship with anybody. Nigeria is more important to me than my personal friendship. You know me, I'm a scholar. Before COVID, for 2 sessions, I was in Oxford University as a visiting scholar. Today, from tomorrow, I start my global journey. I'm already being invited here and there. FIFA has invited me to the annual Congress. I have a speaking engagement with Dr. Stephen Akitayo in Dubai the week after. I am busy. If I survived 8 years of Buhari without going to Buhari, I was one of those who supported Buhari. Did you ever see me go to cap in hand to go and beg Buhari for anything? I'm not a contractor, for Christ's sake. So when people talk about my relationship with Asiwaju, I will respect him as an elder. I see him as my big brother. I see him as a friend. We met shortly before the election in front of Hilton Hotel in Abuja. We embraced as usual. In fact, Sheyi was asking me, Uncle, when are you coming to join us? I said, no, I'm in PDP. His wife, Sister Oluremi, saw me at a funeral, Mrs. Kemi Nelson's funeral, inside the church, asked me, do you mean you're not going to campaign for husband? I said, no, ma, I can't campaign because I'm in PDP. I'm a principled man. I'm not looking... I'll be 53 by the grace of God very soon. I'm not looking for food to eat. The little that I have, I just finished my akara and ugi just now. I'm okay. That is the way my mother brought me up. So it's not about... The problem with Nigeria is that people see everything as you cannot survive without government. I've survived without government. I've never been in government in 63 years of my life. Everything I do has to do with my career. What I did for Atiku Abubakar was about my talent as a journalist, as a communicator, as a brand strategist. That's all. It's nothing personal. I have nothing personal against Tinubu, but for people to expect that because my friend is running in APC, then I will jump out of PDP, then I must be out of my mind. That's not me.
Now, I would like to take you up on this. A lot of people didn't see P2B coming. Well, he has become a phenomenon. He has become one of the most talked about issues or personalities in the political landscape right now. What would you say about the P2B phenomenon?
Well, I will never disparage anyone's achievement. He has done extremely well for himself, for his political party, for his supporters, and for his country. He has done extremely well. But whether he would have won or not, that is now left for the judges to decide, because I'm not a judge. But in terms of whether he did well or not, he did extremely well. He exceeded people's expectations, including mine. But again, I believe that maybe some things would have been better strategized, and that we will leave for the future.
So, Bobby, what would you say has been the biggest lesson that you have learned from this political experience, so to say?
Well, don't forget that I came into politics in 1982. That's some 41 years ago. It's just that I didn't... That's why a lot of people don't see me as a politician. I'm a part-time politician because I cannot trade my career for anything else. That is why if the role I played for PDP and for my candidate Atiku Okowa, it was strictly professional. And good members of APC called me from time to time and said, how did you manage that? Because my directorate, the Directorate of Strategic Communications, is so massive. And I know the lessons I learned from it. A lot of us who sit on the internet just talk. There is more to Nigeria than meets the eye. Someone told me this morning, he said, are you sure Nigeria is not genes? Are you sure Nigeria can still be held? If you ask me those answers today, I will tell you that Nigeria of today, in terms of democracy, is far worse than what we complained about in 1979-83. And like the question you asked me about Peter Obi earlier on, I forgot to add something. That is because a lot of us don't know our history. I already said it, that what will happen is that you will have two Southerners and they will break their own votes. It happened in 1979, it happened in 1983, when we have the Owele of Onitsha, who by far is superior to any of the candidates we have today, including Tinubu and Atiku. Okay? He came from the east, and then that's MPP, and then you had the UPN, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, from the southwest, who is also far superior to anyone we have in the race today. Both of them lost the election because of the division in the south. That is why you will see that it is very difficult for anybody to declare a winner and say Obi maintained the southeast. It was on lockdown for Peter Obi. The southwest, Tinubu lost Lagos, lost in quotes, because we also have to look at the margin of the loss. He lost Osun, which was his ancestral home. There is a pattern to election. And suddenly, you will not tell me that someone who could not hold down his base was now able to hold down other people's bases. That is where you will start noticing the infractions that we talk about. There is a pattern to election. Obi did what he was expected to do in the southeast, because that's where he comes from. Tinubu could not hold down the southwest as much as he was expected to. Atiku was doing well in his own base of the northeast and northwest until certain abracadabra started happening, and that is where we stand. But as I said, the major problem was the lack of due process.
Now, considering the fact that the agreement was that power should move to the south, why did you choose to support someone from the north?
I want to see where the agreement was written and concretized. If the person can show it to me, I will apologize to the person. There was never an agreement. In fact, the people who scuttled and scattered the agreement were the weakest who complained the most. Because if they had left Uche Secondus to remain our chairman, then it would have been easier. Do you understand? It would have been a lot easier for us to speak today that, okay, let us do it this way, let us do it that way. Because maybe he would have been able to guide us towards that southern presidency. But some people, and let me put this on record again, I've said it long before the election, that Atiku Abubakar was not desperate to contest. He told the Wikis that if we are all shouting zoning and we are saying that some parts of Nigeria have been cheated, then the southeast of Nigeria should be the way to go. The southwest, as Professor Yemi Osinbajo as vice president currently, you understand? And President Jonathan from the south had been president. So which means we had Obasanjo, we had Osinbajo from southwest, and then we had President Jonathan from the south. So the only part of south that had nothing was southeast. Yet the Wikis brought their man, Governor Otton, who sat in our party and threw the contest open. You cannot eat your cake and have it. They threw that's why I was able to participate. I bought a form. The day I bought a form, I challenged them. I said, how come you are not telling us about zoning and you're already selling form to us? Do you understand? So it was a very simple way of making sure that their own candidates contested by all means. How come people complaining today that the presidency was going to go back to the north? How come that they wanted to be vice president to a northerner? Would we say he did not want to be vice president to Atiku? Do you understand? So you see, there are people who will accept any nonsense. I'm not one of such. I respect Wike's hard work. I respect his Mr. Project's brand. He did extremely well. I call him the poster boy of PDP. But truth must be truth. If they had made him vice president, would they have complained about you and you can't eat your cake and have it?
Now, before I leave, now that we're talking about Governor Nyesom Wike, I know you used to have a fairly good relationship with him. While the crisis was raging, was there ever a time you tried to mediate between him and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar? Maybe was there ever a time you tried to broker peace in the interest of what the PDP was pursuing there?
I'm sure you read all the letters I wrote to Governor Wike.
Yeah, I read the open letters.
I think the letter touched his heart, and he called me that night. I saw his missed call, and I called him back, and he said I should leave him alone. No, he's in his house drinking his champagne. No, I should leave him alone. No, he's not fighting anybody. And I said, just calm down. This thing can be resolved. You've contributed a lot to PDP, and PDP has contributed a lot to your life. He used to joke with me that when his former boss, Rotimi Amechi, was governor, that he used to watch us when we are taking a helicopter, and he would say, see these guys. We're all friends, we're all brothers. What are we fighting for? What do you want in life? So you say that whenever you don't have your way, then you must bring down the superstructure. No. His problem was anger management. And he said it. He said, me, I was using his weakness against him. That I said in one of my writings on the back page of This Day, I wrote that one of the reasons why a lot of people don't want Wike is because of his anger problem. He said, me, I'm using my pen to terrorize him. Then I joked with him. I said, you're also using your dollar to terrorize me. You know? So for me, it is not a matter of life and death. He should calm down. And if he doesn't want to calm down, after May 29, we shall meet when we both become commoners. He will carry his own police on the way. I will carry my own on the street. And then we will meet. That is how Nigeria is. There is no big deal. The big deal today is that you are in power. If you look at all the governors who were there before him, who were much more powerful than him, okay? His predecessor is still there, Dr. Peter Odili, living his life calmly and enjoy his life. General Ibrahim Babangida is in Mina. Everybody still goes there to see him, to pay homage to him. General Abubakar is there. There are power blocks in Nigeria. You cannot be the only power block. And once you recognize that fact, you will calm down. Look, me, I'm going to have fun. Whether I'm in government, I'm not in government. I survived 8 years of Buhari. I thank God that I didn't need Buhari in those 8 years. That is how life should be. But a lot of Nigerians believe that life begins and ends with power. That is not so with me.